What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a bunch of news. We've got some news we need to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, about the One Piece TCG, and I find lots of this very good indeed, including an update which I was not expecting, which is awesome. But before we get to there, let's talk about something Ace. Let's talk about Ace. You see, this Porcus D Ace promo might look a little bit familiar to some of you. It's a pretty cool card. It's actually a promo card we've had. It's in the event pack. It is the Porcus D Ace with double attack. Incidentally, at least as it seems at the moment, the most expensive card from that event pack. This seems to be the one that everybody's after. And I don't blame you all, incidentally, but because it's got double attack. There aren't that many cards. You know, go over to onepiece-cardgame.dev. and just go and search for double attack. There are not very many cards at all at the moment that actually have double attack. In fact, as far as I am aware, at least searching over on onepiece-cardgame.dev, just having a little bit of a gander here, it looks like the only red card that's actually got double attack, which is kind of amazing. Although in OPO3 we are getting the card Flame Emperor. It's an event card. If your leader is Porcus D Ace, KO up to one of your opponent's characters of 8,000 power or less, then you'll lead against double attack and 3,000 power during this turn. Seems to be one of the reasons why people are hyping up Ace a bit, you know, as a leader going into OPO3. But either way, that's like literally the only other red card that's got double attack, and it's a 7-cost event card that boosts up your leader. That's not quite the same. It's cool. It's not quite the same. I do think that's fair to say. So what we're saying here is this is basically the only red card with double attack, which honestly makes it a pretty gosh darned big deal. And yeah, this is a card that a lot of people are going to want. But it's only popped up as a promo before, and one of the things that we've seen from Digimon, with Bandai, of course, made by the same company, one of the things we've seen before is they are really, really willing, Bandai are, to reprint good cards. Cards that are good, that see a lot of play, that are promo cards, i.e. that are a pain to get hold of. Bandai have been pretty good at just being like, you know what, mate, we'll just reprint them. I adore this. I absolutely adore this, because I don't know if I'm going to play with this Porcus D Ace or not. I do know that if I'm playing red, I want the option for double attack. Whether I use it or not is a different question. And I do know that this is, at least until OPO3, but even then it's a bit awkward, the only kind of character that can go into any red deck regardless of leader, which has double attack. And this is a card which is very, very cool, which then, of course, leads to issues of, well, hang on a second, this is potentially, at least, a very good card, but it's a very good card that's only available as a promo, and we've seen what happened. That's literally what drove me away from the Dragon Ball Super card game, was the fact that every deck I wanted to build, I needed a bunch of super expensive promos that I just wasn't willing to do. That's a pain. We don't really want this. So what do we do instead? We just get a reprint, and this is absolutely lovely. As a side note, where is this actually being released? It's not in any of the magazines we've talked about before for One Piece promos. It is coming out in One Piece Magazine Volume 16. The cover looks like this, if anyone's looking for it. And it's basically just a One Piece magazine showing off a whole bunch of cool One Piece stuff. But then you get the Porcus D Ace promo. I love it, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. I am just a huge fan of this. Firstly, it's a cool card, and that's a very good thing. But secondly, I am absolutely in love with the fact that Bandai have turned around and gone, hey, this Ace, that's a bit good. It's a promo. Not everyone's going to be able to get hold of it. What do we do about this? Hey, let's reprint it and put it in a magazine. Yeah. All right, then. That sounds pretty good to me. And I just think this is a brilliant, brilliant example. We've seen it with Digimon. I assume that we are going to see it again with One Piece in the future if this happens again. And I just think this is absolutely wonderful. And look, I like card games, as you may have noticed. And I am very much of the opinion that the people that make these games are kind of cool. And we should give some love to the people that make these games if we enjoy playing these games. And that certainly includes giving credit to them for the cool things that they do, and this absolutely counts. So yeah, go and pick up volume 16 of the One Piece magazine. Like I say, here is what it looks like. That's the cover you're looking for. And go and enjoy your Porcus the Ace promo. Will we get this in English? Yes! At some point we will get this in English. Don't know when, no idea, but at some point we will. I told you just yesterday, or a couple of days ago, depending on when this goes up, I told you about the gift box, the One Piece gift collection that's coming out, that's got one of 4 random promos in. I don't know if this is going to be one of the promos. I have no way of knowing that. How would I possibly know that? What I do know is that the promos, I believe they're alternate art. This could be one of them. Or it could not. It's an option. But one way or another, I feel very confident we're getting this. Every so often we see something like the Luffy, the one that came around in Shonen Jump, which is mechanically unique, so we have to get it in some way, because otherwise we're literally missing a card, and that's really bad. But I can understand not getting this artwork, because it's very much Shonen Jump artwork, so I can imagine getting this with a different artwork. There is absolutely no reason for us not to get this Ace, so we're going to get this Ace at some point, and I think that's Ace. So, the other piece of news we need to talk about, and this is very, very cool, right? I told you about Psycho Jump the other day. I told you that Psycho Jump magazine was coming and it had one of the coolest the coolest promotion we'd seen for the One Piece TCG, and I absolutely love it. I told you that when you bought this magazine, you were going to get yourself a 25 card half deck. Now, these are mini cards, and I like to think I did make that clear. Like, if you see this image on the screen, does anyone actually think that is a giant page of full-size cards? I personally would never have thought that, but maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me being naive. But either way, I did see I had a bit of feedback about that. I will try and make sure that if we do get any more mini cards in the future, I will try and make it clearer from the thumbnail they are mini cards. I thought it was clear. A couple of people said it could have been clearer, so I did listen, and I will try and make sure that that's in the future. But the point is, mini deck. Half deck, mini cards, but including very cool cards like Manga Shanks and alternate art Roano's. Alright, that's cool. I told you we were getting play sheets featuring Luffy and Yamato, although I'm assuming it's one double-sided play sheet, clearly using the artwork from Starter Decks 8 and 9. And I told you we were going to get a Don card, an exclusive, brand new Don card. This Luffy card, never before seen. Turns out I lied to you. And I'm a little bit sorry, but I'm actually not sorry. And this is something that maybe I should have guessed. And I didn't see anybody else guessing it, but that's not really the point. I feel like this is the kind of thing I could have guessed. Because here's the thing. You're getting a half deck. Alright? You're getting a half deck of cards. And actually, we have now got a shot of the half deck, and you can see, I hope you can see, that actually some of these are, some of these are hollow. Like, there's hollow effects on them. They are cooler than I was expecting. But here's my question to you, ladies and gentlemen. If they were giving us a half deck, 25 cards rather than the usual 50, and this is a game that is played with a deck of 10 Don cards, why would they give us one promo Don? That actually doesn't make any sense. If they're giving us a half deck of cards, surely they should give us a half Don deck as well. And they are. So the Psycho Jump I told you about, not only did it come with this absolutely amazing half deck I'm very excited about, not only does it come with the play sheet that I'll be honest I am a bit less excited about, but it actually comes with 5 full-size official Don cards. To put it another way, if you buy 2 copies of this magazine, you can have a full Don deck of this new fancy exclusive Luffy Don. How cool is that? That is absolutely amazing to me, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely amazing. And I think at this stage, If it wasn't there before, I think we can say it now. You're getting this amazing half deck, and you're getting the Don, and you're getting the play sheet. I mean, come on. As far as One Piece promotions go, this is absolutely preposterously good. Now, you might have noticed when I showed you the half deck, I think it was on the screen there, they were using an ace leader, the new Portgas D Ace, the alternate art, which is obviously a little bit weird. Here's the deal. Now, it literally says, Psycho Jump of the magazine tweeted this out. It says 26 One Piece cards mini size, so I think the Ace Leader is actually included as part of the deck, which we didn't know before, which is pretty cool. That's the Ace Leader I actually mentioned a minute ago, and it is the alternate art thereof. And again, these aren't official. I don't believe, even though it is actually kind of like an official card, I don't believe that Ace Leader is legal for tournament play because it's not the right size. I'm like 99% sure it's not legal for tournament play. It says leader cards can be cut out from articles in the magazine. Specifications may differ from the normal One Piece card game. Cannot be used in official tournaments. Don cards can also be used in official tournaments. So the leader card, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. I think it might be one you cut out the magazine rather than actually like in the deck like all the other cards. But there is an official statement there. You cannot use these cards in tournaments, but you can use the Don. Which brings me to my last point for the video. And this is something we're going to talk about more in the future, but I just want to get it off my chest now, just nice and quickly. Why can't we use Japanese Don in English tournaments? Now, I understand why we can't use Japanese leaders, because they have Japanese text on, and people can't always read the Japanese text. I understand why we can't use Japanese cards, partly because of the text argument I just made, and partly because Japanese cards are printed in different factories, and they might have a different thickness or gloss or whatever. I know certainly with Pokemon cards, if you shuffled a deck which was half English, half Japanese cards, you'd be able to tell them apart. And again, you could use a full Japanese deck, but we go back to the language issue. So I understand completely why we cannot use Japanese cards, even a whole deck of Japanese cards. And I'm learning Japanese. I'd love to use a whole Japanese deck. That would be good for my learning. But we can't use them, and I get that. That makes sense to me. I don't understand why we can't use Japanese Don. Because they're in their own deck off to the side. There's no shuffling issues, there's no production issues, there's no language issues. Every single Don card does the exact same thing. And even if your opponent cannot read that says your turn, Jibun no Tan, it doesn't matter. Because they've got their own Don cards in English that they can use as a reference. I cannot see any logical argument whatsoever against using Japanese Don cards. All the other cards I get, leaders, characters, events, all of that. No, you should not be able to use Japanese cards in tournaments. That would create problems. I understand that entirely. I cannot think of a single logical argument as to why I'm not allowed to use Japanese Don, other than consistency, because you can't use other Japanese cards. But that doesn't really make any sense anyway. No. Let me use Japanese Don, because I tell you what, I've ordered a couple of these magazines, and I'm keeping a set of this Japanese Don off to one side, and if they ever relax the rules, you know what Don I'm using in a tournament, because I am a huge sucker for Japanese magazine promos, and if you let me use a whole Don deck of Japanese magazine promo Don, I will be a very happy Wassy indeed. Also, as a quick side note, I told you if I saw this for sale, I told you over on Amazon Japan that I would retweet it. I have done that. I have no idea if it's still going to be available at the time you listen to this, but head on over to Twitter at the Wassy. I've gone and tweeted out the link, and I don't think it's going to be there when you check it, but you never know, it might be. It is worth a look. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to know what you think about all of this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy. That's where we talk about One Piece and card games and all kinds of other fun stuff. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching What's he plays?